This movie is about how an art gallery owner's life changes when she begins a secret romance with a younger boy band star, challenging love, fame, and family ties. So let's begin. The film opens in Silver Lake, California, where Celine Marchand, a thoughtful and reserved art gallery owner, juggles her career with single motherhood. Her daughter, Izzy, is preparing for an exciting outing with friends Georgia and Zeke to Coachella. The friends are particularly thrilled about a meet and greet with the boy band August Moon, though she admits she hasn't listened to them in years. Celine's friend Tracy stops by. She brings up her upcoming 40th birthday, only to discover she has no grand plans, choosing instead a modest camping trip. Later, she drives Izzy and her friends to the house of her ex-husband, Daniel, and his new wife, Eva. It's clear that she doesn't get along with either of them, but she tries to stay polite for Izzy's sake. When Celine gets back home, she's surprised to find Daniel waiting for her. He explains that he tried to contact her, but her phone was on airplane mode. He tells her he's been called away for work and can't take Izzy and her friends to Coachella as planned. Left with no choice, Celine agrees to take them herself. At the festival, she heads off to find a bathroom while Izzy eagerly joins her friends Georgia and Zeke, leaving her mom behind. She unknowingly steps into a private trailer bathroom, not realizing it belongs to Hayes Campbell, a member of the boy band August Moon. Their encounter begins awkwardly, with Celine embarrassed about the mix-up, but a natural conversation develops between them. There's an instant, unexpected connection, but when she realizes Hayes is 16 years younger than her, discomfort quickly sets in. Feeling out of place, she leaves the trailer in a hurry. Celine joins Izzy and her friends at the meet and greet with August Moon. They are thrilled to see the band, acting like true fans. But Izzy ends up embarrassing herself when she starts talking badly about the group, only to realize Hayes is standing right there. Luckily, he laughs it off and doesn't take it personally, easing the tension. Later, everyone gathers to watch the band's performance. To her own surprise, Celine finds herself enjoying the music and the atmosphere. Toward the end of the show, Hayes makes a sudden change to the setlist and performs a song called Closer. The way he sings it makes it clear that it's meant just for her. The moment feels personal and leaves her quietly touched and curious about him. Celine celebrates her 40th birthday with a party, but meeting men her age doesn't go as planned. Most of them are either strange or just not appealing, leaving her feeling disappointed and uninterested. A few days later, while working at her art gallery, Celine is surprised when Hayes shows up. He explains that he found her online and wanted to see the gallery. She gives him a quick tour, thinking he's just there to flirt or joke around. But he surprises her by saying he loves the artwork and wants to buy everything. At first, she doesn't believe him, but he insists he's serious and really likes the pieces, showing a more thoughtful side of himself. She invites him to an art studio owned by a friend, where they talk about the artwork. While there, he shares his story of how he became a member of August Moon after going through a tough audition process. He describes his bandmates, Simon, Adrian, Rory, and Ollie, each with their own unique personalities. Hayes jokes that he's just the English one in the group, and wonders what he would be doing with his life if he hadn't become a superstar. The conversation gives Celine a glimpse into Hayes' life beyond the fame, making their connection feel more genuine. As they leave the studio, Celine notices fans in a car nearby taking pictures of him. To avoid the attention, she suggests they go back to her house for some privacy. At home, she makes him a sandwich, and as they eat, she opens up about something painful from her past. She tells him how she found out that her husband had been cheating on her for over a year, and all of their friends knew before she did. Afterward, Hayes goes to the piano in the living room and starts playing. She eventually joins him, and their connection grows stronger. But Celine pulls away, troubled by their age difference. Though she tries to hold back, he senses her feelings and knows she's attracted to him too. Realizing things are getting complicated, he has his driver take him back to his hotel just before Izzy comes home from school. After dropping her off at summer camp, Celine gets a message from Hayes saying he wants to see her again and invites her to New York. She decides to fly out and meets him at his hotel room, where they spend time together. The next day, as they relax, Hayes opens up about a painful experience. He tells her that a former manager once claimed that his favorite musician wanted to meet him. However, when she showed up, it turned out to be a setup, and the manager's daughter just wanted him to take pictures with her and her friends. He confesses that his biggest fear is being seen as a joke, something that has always worried him, both in his career and personal life. Celine joins Hayes as he tours Europe with the band and his team. They keep their relationship private, not telling anyone close to her, since Izzy is still at camp. One day, while they're having dinner at a restaurant, paparazzi hidden nearby snap photos of them. This marks the beginning of their relationship being exposed to the public. Despite their efforts to keep it quiet, Hayes and his bandmates, along with their girlfriends, are gathered by the pool when Ollie casually mentions how Hayes dedicated his song Closer to Celine at Coachella. He explains that this is something the band does whenever one of them meets a girl they like, mentioning that Hayes had done the same for an older Swedish woman not long ago. Hearing this makes her feel like she's just another woman in a pattern. Upset and feeling used, she decides to end things with him and returns to Silver Lake. When she gets home, she finds a painting from Hayes waiting for her. Though the gesture is sweet, it only adds to her confusion, leaving her unsure of where they stand and what his true feelings are. Celine meets with Daniel and Eva after learning they bought Izzy a car for her senior year. During their conversation, he confronts her about the paparazzi pictures with Hayes. Annoyed, she calls him a hypocrite for judging her new relationship. Later, Eva privately tells Celine she's leaving Daniel and tries to start a friendship with her. She isn't interested, still feeling hurt by the past, and the conversation leaves her feeling uneasy. Hayes messages Celine, warning her not to go on the internet. To her shock, she discovers photos of her on the beach with him, labeled a cougar. When she picks up Izzy from camp, the news has spread, and has heard about it. Many mothers are upset, and even Izzy is unhappy that her mother kept the relationship a secret, though she forgives her and encourages her to pursue Hayes if he truly makes her happy. Celine decides to find Hayes in the recording studio, where they reconnect. Izzy, though still adjusting, is okay with it, but asks her friends to stay off social media to avoid more attention. Despite this, paparazzi continue to surround their home, and Daniel confronts both about their relationship before taking Izzy to school. The pressure builds as Celine starts receiving hateful comments online, and Izzy is harassed constantly. The situation becomes more complicated and difficult for both of them. Hayes returns from New York and meets with Celine, where she tells him she has to end their relationship for good because of the effect it's having on Izzy. Later, he comes back to her house and suggests that they pick things up again in 5 years, after Izzy finishes college. Celine tells him to follow his own happiness if the opportunity arises. They share a moment, reaffirm their love, and Hayes leaves her a watch as a parting gift. 5 years later, Celine connects with Izzy via webcam while she's finishing school. That night, she watches the Graham Norton show and sees Hayes talking about wanting to reconnect with someone in California. At work, Celine is stunned and thrilled when Hayes unexpectedly walks in, ready to pick up where they left off.